right, you know what? We are talking about those triple digits and those numbers on the rise. So what do we like to do? We like to head up to the cool country. If you're new to Arizona, then you should know there are so many beautiful scenic places in our state to see so that you can plan a weekend getaway. Well, Robert Stieve is the editor-in-chief of Arizona Highways magazine to tell us not only why you need to add another location to your getaway list, but where to go and why you need to do it soon. Book it soon.
Yeah, we're talking today about the North Rim of the Grand Canyon, the Kaibab Plateau up there. As editor of the magazine, people ask me a lot about my favorite places in this state, and it's kind of hard to pick, you know, but because we love all the places in our state, but the North Rim is probably numero uno. Numero uno.
Now, I know that in this edition you've spent a lot of time going there, but for people who are new to Arizona, we often think of the South Rim of the Grand Canyon being our North Rim.
Exactly.
But you have to go around the other side to get to the North Rim of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, exactly. It takes roughly 4 hours from the valley to get to the South Rim. It takes about 6 hours to get to the north side.
Wow.
What you get in return...
But it's worth it?
Yeah, well, one, the drive itself is spectacular. You go past the Vermilion Cliffs and the drive and across the Navajo Reservation. It's beautiful. But of the 5 million people who go to the canyon as a whole each year, about 4.5 million go to the South Rim. So it's much quieter. The elevation, it's 1,000 feet higher on the North Rim, so it's a much cooler climate. You know, you're going to have low 70s usually for your high in the daytime.
Okay, so it's worth that extra 2 hours. So let's take us to the first, pick that you have in the magazine, and this is called DeMott Park.
Yeah, this is this is very typical of what you see up on the North Rim. A lot of meadows up there, beautiful aspen and fir and ponderosa pine forests up there. But these meadows, and this is a little sort of a pond, I guess. It's used mostly for wildlife, and this particular one is fenced off to keep some things out. But a lot of meadows up there, and it's very typical of what you'll see. Very idyllic would be the word.
It's absolutely picturesque is really what it is. Now, Jacob Lake, I've never heard of Jacob Lake.
Jacob Lake is it's mostly just a little bit of a lodge and a campground up there. It's sort of kicks off the scenic drive that goes into the park from up on the high point of the drive up there. And Jacob Lake, among other things, it's famous for its cookies. They have some amazing cookies at this lodge. And you know, right out the door of Jacob Lake and the lodge there's, you know, again, this is kind of what you see. And this is, you know, again, the weather's cooler, so you have that morning mist, and you might wake up thinking you're up in northern Michigan or something, and in fact, you're in Arizona.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Steamboat Mountain. Oh, look at this sunset. Oh, we have the most beautiful sunsets here, don't we?
And I can almost guarantee you, if you find your way out to this place called Tim Point, you'll probably be out there by yourself because it's very remote. It's actually
Tim Point?
T-I-M-P.
Oh, Tim Point.
And it's actually easy to get to, and in the magazine we tell you how to get there and what have you. But you can get there in a passenger vehicle, you know, a sedan, but it's remote and quiet. And again, I talked earlier about the crowds on the South Rim. You most likely won't see anybody out there, but you probably will see some deer and some other wildlife along the way. It's great.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. Well, with a sunset like that, how can you go wrong? And I'm assuming that this is the time of year to catch this.
Absolutely. You know, we're blessed in Arizona because we get to enjoy the wildflowers in the desert in the springtime, and then you can just start driving north, and the flowers tend to follow the latitude. So as you go a little bit higher up in elevation, you get this, and this is very typical of a summer scene up on the North Rim.
Now, I know you've given us some great hot spots to go in the North Canyon, and you always do, like you mentioned, the cookies. You always include along some places to stop and eat and rest if you need to.
Yeah. In fact, in this issue, we did 101 things that you need to know about the North Rim and the Kaibab Plateau, and some of its history. Some of it talks about, you know, when the full moon is out and the different meteor showers that you might want to plan your trip around, because if you're into looking up and seeing stars, it's very dark up there and it's spectacular. And there's different festivals we talk about and things you want to know about. So there's a lot of information.
So if you are going to go, you want to go make certain stops and know if there's something special you want to do, what's kind of happening up in that area.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And like anything around the Grand Canyon, you mentioned at the outset, you kind of need to book ahead of time things. You know, there's limited availability for lodging, and so you want to get your name in and make your reservations.
Well, especially with our heat kind of, hitting us a little bit early this year, I know your mind is already on the road, so where to go, and always good tips, Robert Stieve.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Arizona Highway's May issue is on newsstands right now. We have all of this information on SonoranLiving.com. Good stuff.
Thank you.